Yes, indeed. The sounds of Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire. No, it was not actually requested to Lito, although it was dedicated to him and his terrible, terrible sense of pitch. I could be really, really unpleasant now, but nah. Right. Okay. Now, the theme of today's show is you submit questions and topics for discussion. Whether you want to send a quick-fire question or a big topic that I can talk about for a while, it's your call. Send it my way. themurloc@gmail.com is the place to go. themurloc@gmail.com. So, before I go on, a few bits of information about the website. The forums are back up and running, for those who do not know. Yes, I know it says on the website the forums are not up and running. They are! Click the forums button at the top of the screen. We're using vBulletin at the moment. Whether or not it will stay that way, I really do not know. We shall see. But the forums are back up and running, and they're a good community. They're a nice place to visit. Compared to the general forums, they're like Eden, Paradise, and Nirvana, and all that kind of stuff put together. Yes. It's that good, folks, in comparison. So get in there. Get involved. The other thing is we have a new BlizzCon video. We have got a whole bunch of footage from BlizzCon all sorted now, and we are editing it down and getting some movies up there. The first of the movies to go up there, besides my video diary, is the hotel room scene, which is a little bit interesting, to say the least. So go and download that. The link's on the front page. It's a bit scary. Slanic's Oh Really Plain does feature. Yes. Right. Now, a few quick-fire questions before I get on to some meatier topics. Quick-fire questions. Ian, is that Besk? Yes. Besk asks this. If my guild is declining and dying and everyone is jumping off the sinking ship, to put it metaphorically, should I stay until the guild completely disbands and just lays over and dies, stay with it and have the pride of saying I stayed with the guild until the very end, or leave right now and go find one that might be better and have nicer people in it, that aren't always leaving every day? And everyone might be not as close. Right. Yeah, leave. The guild is dying. Staying in the dying guild is not a good idea. Just end it. Put it out of its misery. You know, if you were really close to these people, then they wouldn't have left the guild in the first place. Either that, or they'd have left the guild and formed a new one that you can go and join right there. If you're friends with people, go and join your friends. Go and play with your friends. If you're not friends with the people, then go and just start again. Get into another community. It's not that hard, really. You know, generally speaking, there are quite a lot of nice people out there. Yeah, sure, there's loads of idiots, but you will find quite a lot of nice people out there. Just go out there, find another guild. That simple. But don't let it drag on. Don't get all sentimental about it. At the end of the game, end of the day, it is just a gaming guild. It's not your family. Alright. WoW ranting on gold signing. I can probably do that later. Let's try one of these. Alright, Sushi says this. The other day, I read an article in USA Weekly about a power leveling service for WoW. I had to laugh that they would even print the article. It was practically advertising the website, which I will not name, even though the headline said, "Is it cheating?" What do you think about this kind of stuff? Surrendering your account to underpaid Asian workers who will power level your character for you. Apparently, people are making good money off this, so it seems a lot of people value their time more than their money. They are willing to spend real cash as opposed to time playing the game. Can this problem be solved? What kind of people would pay out their money and give someone else their personal account information in order to have their characters played for them? Okay. Right. Let me try and find the price of a level 1 to 60. Let's see. Where's the ads? Now, Google ads are very good for this kind of thing. They always come up with loads of crap like this. They really do. You go on any Warcraft site, anything with Google ads, it's like, gold selling, gold selling, gold selling. Let's look. Look for a WoW power leveling service. Can't be that hard to find. Power leveling. One-handed typing for the lose. Low price power leveling. World of Warcraft leveling service. 24/7 support. Blah, 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 blah. Wow, an honor killing service. That sounds a bit dodgy. Non-stop 1 to 40 power leveling. No, let's find... I want a 1 to 60. There we go. Yeah. Right. There is a power leveling service that will level your character 0 to 60 with 600 gold for $330. Right. How long does that usually take? Now, bearing in mind that I level quite slowly, and I did, It took me around, let's see, 10, 15 days of playtime to get to level 60. Let's get the calculator out, shall we? So, bearing in mind that we're talking 24 hours here, let's just say 10 days for the sake of argument. 10 times 24 is 240. Now, I want you to divide that, $330, by 240 hours. That's $1.37 an hour. That's how much you'd be paying. Now, it was an interesting point that Sushi made there. People value their time more than their money. Yeah, and there's a reason for that. Because time is money. Let's bear it in mind. It really is. Time is money. I can go out and I can earn, you know, without any qualifications, I could walk out there, go to McDonald's and earn, what, $10 an hour? This power leveling service costs me 8 times less than that. So while I count as being leveled, I can go and do that. If I like. Yeah, people do value their time more than their money. As far as the service goes, though, is it cheating? Okay, let's play moral, shall we? First moral thing I would have to say is that if you are paying for power level service, you've also got to bear in mind who you are paying. You are not giving money to poor, poverty-stricken Chinese farmers. You're not. It's not. Look, power leveling is not a charity. Neither is gold selling. That's what they should do. They should actually set up a charity where they get these guys, you know, take them out of the sweatshops, put them in a nice environment, you know, with air conditioning. They feed them a couple of meals a day, and they actually get paid all the money. Whereas now, with these companies, that's not what's happening. They're getting, what, $1 a day? Whereas their services, as far as this power leveling goes, cost over $1 an hour. So that makes no sense. Despite the fact that, you know, $1 a day is nothing. Absolutely nothing, and you're well aware of that. Yet, there are big companies, and where do they live? Oh, Western, yes. Most of them are, in fact, based in America, making a heck of a lot of money out of this. So, if you buy gold, and some of you probably have, you've got to bear in mind what you've just done. You've just supported what is effectively slave labour. It's the same as people who boycott stuff like Nike and Adidas. These companies who have been accused in the past of running sweatshops and having trainers made by, you know, small 6-year-old boys with their hands sewn together, their feet chopped off and all that kind of thing. It's the same reason people boycott these kind of companies. Absolutely same principle. Just happens to be a video game. And you think, oh, it doesn't matter. There's no physical item involved. Yeah, but there's physical labour involved. He's supporting a corrupt industry. And that's just not on. Is it cheating? Debatable. Bearing in mind that WoW requires no skill, I'm not even going to argue about it, I'm just going to say it now. Getting to 1 to 60 requires very little, if no skill whatsoever. You could do most of it in your sleep. Is it wrong to pay someone to get you to level 60? Is it the same as having an aimbot in Counter-Strike? Can you compare it? Right, what does an aimbot do? An aimbot is a substitute for skill. It makes you appear more skilled than you really are, because it aims for you. Now, if 1 to 60 required significant skill, it required you to be a really good player, then maybe I could accept that. However, it doesn't. Any nutter can get to level 60. It's not all that hard. It just takes time. Now, if you substitute in the argument time for skill, is it cheating to effectively have something which creates time for you? You know, it avoids the need for you to use your time by having someone else do it for you. Interesting. Is it wrong? If, let's just forget that it's a whole corrupt industry. Let's say it was a perfectly legitimate industry and people were working for reasonable fees in nice offices and had job security, you know, dental plan, nice perks, you know, maybe a staff discount on gold. Would it be wrong then? Would it be cheating? I'd like to cite, if I may, the example of Guild Wars. Another game, of course. You can get to a maximum level 20 in Guild Wars, yet you can start a character at level 20. He won't be as good, and you may not know how to play him as well, but you can have him. You can have a level 20, or you can start at level 1. And you will gain knowledge about your class as you play, better items, and a whole bunch of other things. So you'll be better if you actually level 1 to 20. Does the same principle apply here? Possibly, yeah. Now, I was donated at one point an account by a friend of mine. He said, can you hold on to my account while I leave the country or whatever? Yeah, sure, I said. I'll do that. That's fine. I've got no moral problem with that, even though it's technically against the rules. You can't, you can't use someone else's account. It's account sharing. Well, I don't really care, to be honest. He wants me to look after his account, make him mooncloth every 4 days, transmute an Arcanite bar, maybe get him a few items. That's fine. I've got no moral problems with that. And it was a Warlock. And I thought, right, okay, that'll be easy. So I sat down, and I started playing this Warlock, and I sucked. Why? Because I didn't know how to play the class. It wasn't due to a lack of skill, it was simply due to a lack of knowledge. You can't skillfully press the Shadow Bolt button, but you don't know how you're playing the class. So, what are you supposed to do in that situation? Well, you learn the class. What does it take? Time. So, if you were to get a 1 to 60, if you were to be given something like that, like I was, given a level 60 Warlock, what would you do? Is it cheating to be given that? No, I don't believe it is. As far as I'm concerned, 1 to 60 is a means to an end, or a means to an end game would be more appropriate. Why do people play the game? You'll find that some people just play to have a laugh. That's cool. Those people may never get to 60. They just may play, for 30 minutes a day, have fun, quest, maybe do a little bit of PvP, play with their friends, that's fine. But the rest of them are going for level 60. Why? Because that's where the interesting things begin. That's where you get to kill big 40-man raid dragons. You get to venture into instances and do really dangerous stuff. So, the fact that you've already bypassed the 1 to 60 grind, is it relevant? Not necessarily. Do you have the right to play the game as you want? If I only wanted to play end-game content, which at the moment is exactly all I want to do with this game, is it wrong for me to skip straight to that? Do I disadvantage anyone by it? I don't necessarily disadvantage anyone, do I? If I had my character power leveled, then hey, here's a priest, I want a 60 priest, please. That'll be $350. Yep, that's fine. Is it cheating? It's a good question. It's a morally ambiguous area that I honestly cannot make a firm decision on. Now, whereas my gut instinct says that's wrong, my head's telling me why. Why is it wrong? What advantage do I gain over other people? I mean, everyone else is 60. Just so I have a 60. Do I gain an advantage over people? No, I don't. If I was unfairly buying epics, for instance, with ill-gotten cash, that's an advantage. If I'm the first person on the server with an epic mount because I bought 1,000 gold for my gold farmer, that's an advantage. If I'm wearing full... Let's just assume for a moment that Tier 2 was bind on equip. I'm wearing full Tier 2 armor with a big fat epic weapon. That's an advantage. Being level 60? No. Because you're not competing with anyone below level 60. Because there's such a massive gap. There's such a massive jump between 59 and 60 that it's not a competition. All you've done is bring your character level-wise to the same degree as everyone else. Doesn't mean you can play it, doesn't mean you know how to play the class, because you haven't been playing the class. You don't know the tricks. You don't have the knowledge. And you certainly don't have the equipment. Way, level 60, I'm wearing whites and greens. Brilliant. Yeah, that's gonna help, folks. So, As controversial as it may seem, I'm going to come to this conclusion, that power leveling is not cheating. Why? Because the definition of cheating is to give yourself an unfair advantage over an opponent without using your own personal skill to do it. It doesn't give you an unfair advantage. Why? Because you're competing with level 60s. Being a level 60 does not make you competitive. No. It's only the first step on a long, long ladder to success. And power leveling will not get you up that ladder. That's my opinion on that one. You're listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. A little bit of Motorhead wouldn't go amiss, I don't think. As far as I'm concerned, Motorhead never goes amiss. No class. Enjoy.